We've hunted whales to the edge of extinction. We've tracked them with satellites, tagged them with sensors, mapped their migrations, and listened to their voices across entire oceans. And yet, one whale lived among us for decades without a name, without protection, and without anyone realizing it was there at all. How does a creature longer than a bus disappear in the modern ocean? For most of human history, whales have been impossible to ignore. Their bodies were too large, their blows too visible, their migrations too predictable. From blue whales to humpbacks, every large species left clear traces. Whaling records, ship strikes, strandings, photographs, bones. By the late 20th century, scientists believed the age of undiscovered whales was over. The oceans were mapped. The species lists were stable. If a whale that large existed, we assumed we would know. That confidence turned out to be wrong. In the 1970s and the 1980s, fishermen and researchers working in tropical waters occasionally reported sightings of a small, sleek baleen whale. It did not breach, it did not travel in loud groups, it did not migrate in neat seasonal lines. When it appeared near the surface, it moved slowly, rolled once, and vanished again. Most observers logged it as a Bryde's whale, a common species known to live in warm seas. The photographs looked close enough. The assumption stuck. What no one realized was that these sightings did not quite match. The body was slimmer. The dorsal fin sat slightly farther back. The jawline curved differently. Even the coloring was odd, with one side of the lower jaw often lighter than the other. But in a world where researchers already believed every whale was accounted for, those differences were treated as variation, not warning signs. This was the beginning of Omura's whale disappearing in plain sight. Omura's whale is not a giant like the blue whale, but it is far from small. Adults reach lengths of around 10 to 12 meters and can weigh more than 10 tons. That is roughly the length of a city bus moving quietly through coastal and offshore waters. It feeds on small fish and krill, filtering them through baleen plates like other rorquals. It surfaces gently, producing a low, modest blow that is easy to miss among waves and boat wakes. Nothing about its behavior demands attention. Unlike many whales, it appears to spend much of its life in warm, tropical regions. These are the same waters crowded with shipping lanes, fishing vessels, oil platforms, and coastal cities. Ironically, they are also places scientists often assume are already well studied. Research effort tends to focus on dramatic migrations and remote polar feeding grounds. Omura's whale lived in the background noise of human activity. The evidence was there, scattered and unconnected. Strandings occurred in places like Japan and the Indian Ocean, but the bodies were labeled incorrectly and archived. Photographs existed, taken from research boats and fishing vessels, but they were filed under the wrong species. Even video footage showed a whale that looked slightly off, but not enough to trigger alarm. Each record reinforced the same mistake. It was only when scientists began comparing genetic samples that the illusion broke. Tissue taken from stranded whales did not match Bryde's whales at all. The DNA told a different story, one that could not be ignored. These animals belonged to a separate species, one that had been hiding inside another's identity. By the time Omura's whale was formally recognized, the real shock set in. No one knew how many existed. No one knew their migration routes. No one knew how deep they dived, how long they lived, or how vulnerable they were. For decades, a full-sized whale had moved through some of the busiest oceans on Earth, leaving behind a trail of clues that no one connected. It had not survived by being powerful or aggressive. It survived by never standing out. by the time scientists realized Omura's whale was real, the damage was already done. Not physical damage that could be measured easily. It was something far more dangerous, a complete absence of knowledge. A whale had been hiding inside the data for decades, and now researchers were forced to admit they had almost nothing concrete to work with. Even today, Omura's whale remains one of the least understood whales on Earth. There are no reliable population estimates, no clear migration maps, no long-term tracking studies. Most confirmed sightings come from a handful of regions, like the waters near Madagascar, parts of the Indian Ocean, and areas of Southeast Asia. Each sighting feels less like confirmation and more like a reminder of how much is missing. Visually, the whale is easy to overlook if you are not searching for it. Its body is long and slim, with a smooth grey-brown back that blends into the color of open water. The dorsal fin is small and sharply curved, appearing briefly before sinking back below the surface. When it surfaces, the blow is low and narrow, nothing like the towering columns of mist produced by larger whales. On video footage, it often looks like a shadow passing just beneath the waves. This subtlety extends underwater. Omura's whale is believed to feed at relatively shallow depths compared to deep-diving giants like sperm whales. It glides through layers of plankton-rich water, opening its mouth to engulf schools of tiny fish and krill. Its baleen plates, thin and dark, act like a living filter. There is no violent chase, no explosive movement, just slow, efficient feeding in silence. Because it does not breach dramatically or form large, noisy groups, Omura's whale rarely attracts attention from whale-watching boats or researchers. Most video evidence comes from chance encounters, shaky footage from fishing vessels, distant drone shots, or brief clips captured by scientists studying entirely different species. Each clip is short. Each one ends too soon. Biologically, this whale should have been noticed long ago. At 10 to 12 meters long, it is larger than many species we consider well documented. Its skeleton is distinct. Its jaw often shows uneven coloring, with one side lighter than the other, a trait visible even in poor lighting. And yet, none of these clues were enough to break through decades of assumption. That assumption had consequences. Without a name, Omura's whale had no legal protection. Conservation laws depend on recognition. If a species is misidentified, it cannot be monitored properly. Ship strikes, fishing gear entanglement, and noise pollution may have been affecting this whale for years without anyone realizing which species was being harmed. Even now, it is unclear how resilient it is to modern ocean pressures. The ocean Omura's whale inhabits is not empty or quiet. It is filled with engine noise, sonar pulses, and drifting fishing lines. Cargo ships pass overhead like moving cities. Underwater footage from these regions often shows murky water, broken light, and suspended debris. Somewhere in that visual chaos, this whale continues to move, unnoticed. What makes Omura's whale unsettling is not how rare it might be, but how easily it slipped through the cracks. It exposes a weakness in how humans explore the ocean. We tend to search for what we already expect to find. We build categories first, then fit the world into them. When something does not quite match, we smooth over the difference instead of questioning it. Even now, scientists suspect there may be entire behaviors we have never observed. No confirmed breeding grounds, no clear calf development studies, no recorded long-distance migrations. The whale exists in fragments, a photograph here, A genetic sample there, a short video clip that raises more questions than it answers. Omura's whale did not hide in the deep trenches or remote polar seas. It lived in busy waters under constant human presence and survived simply by never demanding attention. It is a reminder that the ocean is not just unexplored because it is deep, but because we often stop looking once we think we understand it. So, if a whale this large can remain almost invisible for decades, drifting through shipping lanes and coastlines without a clear record, it raises an uncomfortable thought. The ocean may not be empty at all. It may be full of things we have already seen, filmed, and dismissed. And if you enjoyed quietly losing faith in humanity's ability to notice a 10-ton whale, like and subscribe. And then brace yourself for what happens when water itself becomes a weapon in the video about the underwater waterfalls that kill everything it touches.